Welcome to the Cruise TV Canada, the show that highlights the stories and people behind some of the most amazing rides on the road. I'm your host, Stephanie Lastoria, and in this episode, we're taking you to the Toronto International AutoShow, the largest auto show in Canada. We've got exclusive access inside McLaren Toronto Showcase to film 3 generations of automotive icons, from the legendary F1 to the groundbreaking P1 and the brand new W1. We're diving into the evolution of one of the most extreme performance car lineups ever created. One of Canada's most spectacular automotive events is gearing up again. Rob McLeese gives us a preview of the Cobble Beach Concours d'Elegance and Motoring Festival, with a look at some of the world-class cars covering multi-decades. Finally, Porsche Experience shows us what it's like to immerse yourself in one of the pinnacle car brands by combining world-class driving and rich automotive culture. Stay tuned, guys.
Hey guys, my name is Mark Basili from McLaren Toronto. I'm a sales executive for the team here in Canada, and today we're at the Auto Show for 2026 here in Canada, displaying every single one of our McLaren One lineup here. So a few special cars here today. Obviously the one that started it all, the McLaren F1. Obviously very, very rare car, but also a car that holds a lot of accolades for a very long time. Held the top speed record for many, many years. This is also a very special car in the sense that this is the first car to ever come with a carbon fiber monocoque. So out of any car in the world, the F1 was the first car to be designed very much like a Formula One car, with its chassis being built from carbon fiber. It's also a partnership with BMW as well, which is why we have the big V12 in the back, made it to a manual gearbox, but arguably probably one of the most best analog driving experiences ever made in the history of automobiles. Beside me here is the McLaren P1, which came second in our One lineup, successing the McLaren F1, which everyone obviously knows very much about. Really special part about this car is this is truly the first hypercar that was designed by McLaren Automotive as an automotive brand. McLaren really wasn't an automotive brand when they built the F1. It was more of a partnership with BMW. This is truly our first really kind of mass attempt at building something that will beat everything in the world. Obviously, this car was part of, I guess, a bit of arms race between the other two competitors, Ferrari and Porsche. I think, in my honest opinion, it's probably the best looking of them all. This car is quite special because not only are we running the 3.8 liter high revving V8 with 2 turbochargers, we're also running an electric component to it as well. So the combined horsepower is over 900 horsepower in a car that really doesn't weigh much more than a Formula One car. In terms of aerodynamics, we have different driving modes in a McLaren P1. So we basically have your road mode, we have more of a sport mode, and we have a track mode or race mode for that matter. In the first mode, we're going to have a bit of a higher ground clearance on the car, so just a bit more acceptable to, avoid curbs, speed bumps, things along those lines. And then the way you're seeing it right now is in its best form, which is race mode. So the car is lowered down quite a bit. You can see technically not street legal in this setup because the front tires are very much tucked under there, and the spoiler is right up in the highest position. So the car makes over 800 kilograms of downforce at speed. So it's the equivalent of basically putting a baby elephant on the back of your car. So you can imagine what the thing's capable of. You're not going to keep up with it. And the only thing you're going to notice when it's in front of you is it's shooting a blue flame. And I'm just sitting next to the brand new McLaren W1, which is the latest in the One lineup. Obviously, ultimate car, hypercar series, much like the other two that we've discussed in the past. Much like the other two that are predecessors to this one here, everything on this car is new and unique to this vehicle. So basically what I'm sitting on right here is the aero cell. So W1 has its own carbon fiber monocoque that was developed specifically for W1. We don't share with any other models. It's unique to this one alone. Some other cool things with this as well is we're running a 4-liter V8 twin turbo hybrid engine, which sounds very familiar to, say, the 4-liter V8 twin turbo that's in our 750s. Not even the same. So as much as we're using the same displacement, it's a brand new power plant, brand new transmission. We're really trying to achieve the highest efficiencies with the most performance at the same breath. And this one here, thanks to the way we developed the engine, we can basically make 1,275 PS out of it. But we also have the freest revving motor that we've ever had, redlining at 9,200 RPM. So it's an incredible package. I've yet to experience it, but from everyone that's driven it so far, they say it's out of this world. Some other cool features of it is obviously the door that's sitting right above me right now. This is not your typical door from McLaren. We usually have dihedral doors, which means the hinges right here opens up and outward on a bit of an angle. Very similar to things you'd find on, say, the F1 as well as the P1. We need to take it to the next level when we're talking W1. We're in a whole new decade of performance. We're kind of seeing technologies change. Obviously, we've had a lot of success in Formula One over the last few years. We really wanted to take that success and bring it into our road cars. In order to do so, if you look at this piece right up here, it looks very much almost like a barge board or a side pod of a Formula One car. It's exactly what it is. In order for us to use this part of the front or the wheel wash coming out of it, we had to move the hinges. So we moved the hinge from the door itself down here. We moved it up top, which means that we can use all this area here for aerodynamics and airflow. And basically what I would recommend you guys doing as well, if you get a shot straight through here, you'll actually be able to see where the airflow travels. I can see light traveling all the way from the front bumper all the way to my shoe right now. So if we remove fenders, you swear it's almost an F1 car underneath it. Outside of that, we've done aerodynamics a little bit differently this time than maybe in times past. Lots of people are used to seeing these big massive spoilers sitting on top of the rear end of the cars. It's great. It does create downforce. Obviously, we've done so with the P1 behind us there. But there's other ways to create downforce, and there's ground effects, right? So not only do you don't need these big spoilers on top of the cars, you can create downforce by basically sucking the car to the ground as opposed to pushing it. So what we've done with this car is we've really focused on accelerating the airflow cleanly underneath the vehicle, and stalling the airflow on top a little bit as well. So what happens is as you see it right now, we are in race mode, and the spoiler is extended about 300 millimeters past the rear bodywork of the car. And if you actually go look at it, it's what we're doing is we're not deploying a spoiler so much to create downforce as we're extending the rear valence on the car. So we're actually accelerating the air even more than we can do with stalling the top through a top mount spoiler. And that's able to create, on top of where we stood with the P1 at 800 kilograms, 1,000 kilograms of downforce on this car. We're also running a bit wider tire as well. It's developed with the Pirelli Trofeo RS, which is a brand new tire from Pirelli. The Wyra Revo from Pagani was basically tested with this tire as well. So it's the latest and greatest technology for the most amount of grip. And this car definitely needs that with the amount of downforce it can put down on the racetrack. Obviously, moving into some other components of the engineering of the car, we're using things a little bit differently as well, straight out of the motorsport. So rather than having your typical suspension McPherson strut, we're using a push rod system, which you can kind of see right through here with the onboard spring. And that just frees up, again, more airflow to be traveling around the wheel. Wheels create a lot of wash, which is turbulence. We don't want that, so it's very much cleaning up the airflow. Another great point of it is obviously we can see the springs, but we didn't leave the hole there just to show off the spring. There's nothing lighter than the absence of material. So rather than filling it with carbon fiber, we remove the carbon fiber, and that's helping lighten the car as well. Moving forward with more aerodynamic pieces on the W1, this particular combination of colors is a theme that we've called Vessel to Mars, and the objective behind it was to showcase how the air flows from down low at the front and travels through the side of the car and out the back. So as you walk around the car, you'll see a lot of kind of gloss orange painted accents, and that's showing you exactly where the air is flowing through the car at speed. Again, my name's Mark Basili from McLaren Toronto. You can find me in Woodbridge at our McLaren Toronto dealership, and I'd be happy to help you out with your next vehicle.
My name's Rob McLeese. I'm the founder and chair of the Cobble Beach Concours d'Elegance. I've been a car nut since I was probably 3 years old. And my first car was a 1961 Mini Minor Woody wagon. Ton of fun, paid $100 for it, and really got the car bug. And I loved working on cars and fixing cars. And then we got fast forward about 35 years, and my father bought a property close to Owen Sound, now known as Cobble Beach. And he and I looked at the property and decided, you know what? We've got 1.25 miles of frontage on Georgian Bay. This would be a great place to showcase some cars. And then fast forward another 13, 14 years, and it became a reality. It was our first Cobble Beach Concours d'Elegance. And that's where we got introduced to all of these different cars of different ages and styles and beauty. And as you can see from the colors here, everything I look at in this particular exhibit, and many of them in this room, I get so excited. On my left, we have the 1906 Russell, which was built in Leaside, Ontario. Most people don't even know that the Toronto area had car manufacturing. A great car, it's 16 horsepower. The Model T Ford in that period was a 20 horsepower car. This car is very elegant. The car behind me, the 1924 Delage with a body by Labradette, very unusual with an aluminum bonnet and a mahogany back boat tail. Great fun car, 100 horsepower car. Then we've got, in the back, we have a Mako Shark. The Mako Shark 1961 was developed by Bill Mitchell, who was the head designer at General Motors at that time. He made that car, went through a number of iterations to get it just exactly the same colors as a Mako Shark. And it's so unique. When you get to see it, you can't help but look at the intensity of the colors and the craftsmanship that's gone into that car. That's a 400 horsepower car, 1961. Some people at the beginning said, hey, you're just doing this to advertise your property. And I said, well, that was one of the thoughts in the first place. But as you can see, I've probably judged now over 75 times at different Concours d'Elegance around North America. Been invited to judge in India. I love these cars. I do my homework when it comes to judging. I think that's a very important part. And one of the most important parts of the Concours d'Elegance for us is we've now raised just over $1.4 million for Sunnybrook Hospital and for the Owen Sound Regional Hospital Foundation in the first 11 years, which I'm really proud of. We have a great team, most of whom have been with me right since the very beginning. And we work with a lot of car collectors and a lot of groups, car clubs. We find that we're getting people. Last year we had cars from as far away as Vancouver Island, California, Los Angeles, Newfoundland, and then everywhere in between. We have about 120 special cars each year at the Cobble Beach Concours d'Elegance. It's so much fun, and the site is so unique that people, when they get there, they go, this is pretty cool to have all these cars on the 18th fairway. And then we take the best of the best, and they end up on the 9th fairway. And from those cars are chosen the best in show, most elegant pre-war, most elegant post-war. And those are our top 3 cars, which you'll often see in some of our promotional material each year. And we love showcasing these cars and the owners. The show this year will be on September 20th. And it's a 3-day event, but culminating with the concours on the Sunday. We have a ton of fun. The 3 days event includes a tour d'elegance on the Friday around the local area. And then on the Saturday morning, we have cars and coffee in the morning. We have a Radwood event in the afternoon that day in the Owen Sound. And we also have a seminar this year on the Saturday at the Roxy Theatre in Owen Sound with Peter Brock as our speaker. Peter Brock was involved with the Mako Shark that is in this exhibit. And he also helped develop the split window Corvette, the 63 split window, as well as the 240Z at Nissan, which was Datsun at the time. He also raced every vehicle that he designed. Cobble Beach is an interesting event in that it's the only true Concours d'Elegance in Canada. In the US, there are about 140 of them. The Cobble Beach Concours is now deemed to be in the top 5 in North America. This was told to me by the head of the Classic Car Club of America out of Illinois. And we're very fortunate to be viewed in that manner, but our judges come from 10 states and 14 provinces. So we're a little bit unique in that respect. And every year, 80% of our judges have been there since the very beginning. We started in 2013. We're going into our 12th year this year. We had approximately 3,000 people who joined us the first year. Now, we're very fortunate. We still have roughly the same number of cars, a little bit more with a broader reach across North America. As the only true Canadian concours, we feel very gratified that the Americans are understanding what we are and what this event is. And so they go to the trouble. Last year we had 25 Americans out of the 120 cars, and they're coming from all over. And for them to come, it's a big effort. That's resources, it's time, it's money, it's handlers, it's crossing the border. But Canadian Border Crossing Services is very good with us, and we've, knock on wood, we get great support from them. This year we should have in the order of 10,000 attendees over the course of the weekend. So that includes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On the Sunday, there'll be about 7,500. The busiest period is between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. So if you don't like big crowds, make sure you're there early and have some fun. Concours is such an incredible event with all these amazing cars. You get to see things that you'll never see anywhere else. The artistry of them and the rolling motion is such a wonderful thing to see in real life. This event is open to the public. It is open to everybody, kids, adults. Kids under 12 are free. We have so much fun, and we just want everybody to come and join us.
Yes, Porsche Experience Center Toronto we like to think of it as kind of a playground for automotive enthusiasts, Porsche lovers, car lovers. We really want to be the place to be for automotive enthusiasts in the GTA, in the Greater Toronto Area. In terms of what we offer, it is a wide variety from driving experiences to event hosting, to new vehicle delivery, our cafe. We are open to the public. You don't have to have an invitation. You don't have to be a Porsche owner. You can come on a Saturday, spend the day with the family, have a drive experience, go for a demo lap with me. It's kind of a one-stop shop playground. Yeah, so Porsche Canada, in terms of the experiences that's provided, track experience, ice experience, travel experience, these are things that have been going on for several years, and there's an interest in the market, and obviously Canada has a large number of Porsche customers, and so this is kind of the natural next step in those experience offerings, is to have an experience center. And so we are the 3rd in North America, 10th worldwide, and we're the most recent Porsche experience center to open. The really cool thing about Porsche Experience Centers is that the driving experience is tailored specifically to the individual. So unlike track experience or ice experience, where we have kind of a set curriculum, we want you to get from A to B in a specific level of the experience. It's all about the guests. So if you walk in and you specifically have an interest in learning about car control or learning about the technologies in your Porsche, the 90-minute session is tailored specifically to you. So that's one of the really interesting things, is that there's no two sessions alike. For the instructors, it's always a new puzzle, as I say, like to solve how we get to the end goal of reaching the dreams and goals and aspirations of that guest within the 90 minutes. We also have a program in Canada, Experience Your Dream. So if you are a Porsche owner in Canada, starting January 1st of 2025, you will be offered a complimentary drive experience with us, which is fantastic. And obviously, if you have your own Porsche, you maybe have slightly different goals than somebody who is maybe not an owner. So you may be interested in the technology specifically, some of the things you look and some of the things that you touch and feel kind of every day in your vehicle, exactly what they mean and how they work and how you can use them for the betterment of your own experience on the road. So yeah, the Sim Lab is a great way to kind of get involved and get your foot in the door. There's no substitute like driving the real thing. Obviously, behind the wheel of a real Porsche is where dreams are made, as we say. But no, the Sim Lab is fantastic. It's a great place to host events. It's awesome to get to drive some of these amazing vehicles from the storied history, storied past of Porsche on some amazing tracks around the world in the digital realm. When we talk about the driving experience itself, going on the drift circle is a fantastic place to understand grip levels. So understanding understeer and oversteer, these are things that we necessarily don't get involved with in our day-to-day driving, but things that can happen to us, such as emergency situations, changing weather conditions. So getting a chance to explore some of these situations and some of these things that once we have that muscle memory and that understanding as drivers, we get into these situations and a light clicks off in our brain and we know how to deal with them, and we know exactly what our Porsche is going to do for us and what systems are in the vehicle to help make us better drivers. So when you walk in the door at Porsche Experience Center Toronto, I expect to be greeted by individuals like myself who are very passionate about the brand, passionate about driving. And one of the first things that we'll do for our driving experience is you'll get to go into a classroom with your instructors and you'll get essentially a short safety briefing to understand kind of the rules and the guidelines of our circuit and of our experience. But one of the things that we like to do is we like to make sure that the drive time is spent behind the wheel, obviously. So as much time as possible behind the wheel of the Porsche, driving with your instructor in the right seat. So that's for the full duration. And like I said, it's really specific to what you want to establish, what goals you have on the day. But we do have several different modules that you can explore. So obviously, one of the popular ones would be, the handling circuit, our 2-kilometer handling circuit, which winds around the whole facility. It has a number of corners that are inspired from racetracks around the world, such as Silverstone, Le Mans, the Nürburgring, Laguna Seca. So kind of a really cool collection of corners and places to explore the handling of the vehicle. Of course, we have our dynamics pad, which is really great to work on some of those fundamentals. So understanding vision. Vision is super important for me. It all starts with vision. Understanding that vision, the connection between our hands, our eyes, and our feet when we're in the seat of the car, accelerating, braking, some of these really kind of important fundamental aspects. And then obviously the low friction modules are amazing. So we talked a little bit about the drift circle, and you can kind of understand some different grip levels there with our wet drift circle irrigated. Pretty fun, a lot of different things we can practice and work on there. And then the low friction handling circuit is a little bit trickier, a little bit more challenging maybe than going in a single direction in the drift circle. We have a winding low friction road, which allows us to get the weight moving in multiple directions. So understanding how that weight transfer and vehicle dynamics work on a winding road, which is also polished concrete. So simulating again a lower grip, lower friction environment. So connecting all of these different modules is really your instructor's job to understand the things that we learn on low friction, how they apply when we get to the handling circuit. And so that job of the instructor is really, like I said, to kind of create that dream come true for you moment, that kind of, I came in here looking to do this, learning how to drift on the low friction handling circuit or on the circle. And at the end of the 90 minutes, we hope that we've achieved those goals. So yes, the community events obviously are a super important part of being here. It's, like we said, any event can take place here. It's not just for specifically driving, although that's, one of the most fun things you can do. But in terms of the industry in Canada and the GTA, obviously having all of our Porsche owners and customers here for some of the cars and coffees that we hosts is super awesome, just to see the community come together in kind of this central place where we're all together and just loving the brand and getting together and you know, being together and sharing in the passion that is the Porsche brand. And then on top of that, you know, additional community events such as, you know, we've offered Pilates, we've offered you know, wine and paint nights, all kinds of different fun and interesting things to get people involved and get people in the door that maybe aren't necessarily specifically interested in cars or driving, but when you get here, you know, you find that the passion that the guests and that the staff have is kind of infectious. And so if you come here and you don't feel the urge to drive a Porsche, then I'm not sure we're doing our jobs correctly. So the best place to get in touch with us is by visiting PorscheExperience.ca. You'll see the wide variety of different experiences that we offer in Canada, and of course you'll see the link to the Porsche Experience Center Toronto. We also have a call team on staff here, so if you prefer to call us, ask questions. We love to talk about Porsche vehicles, and any questions that you have, we'd be more than happy to answer for you. Call us, look us up online. We're on social media as well, Instagram. So we're all over and trying to spread the passion and make dreams come true here every day.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Cruise TV Canada. If you would like to feature your car, event, or automotive business on future episodes, please reach out to us on our Instagram. Until next time, I'm your host, Stephanie Lastoria, and we hope to see you cruising on the open roads.